With our field work mostly done for the year and our fields harvested, it's September here on the farm, and in this episode, we're going to be building our cannery and making sure our vegetable business will be ready to go for next year. Today, here at Guy Friday's Country Goods. You can find a link to this playlist in the description below, or check the channel page for other farming series you might like. Welcome back to the farm, everyone, on this rainy September morning. It's definitely raining. It is September now. Did a bunch of work last month. If you were here last episode, then you saw that we had quite a few contracts here. I'm going to go in the barn here out of the rain. Yeah, we had some contracts last month. We finished those up. And if you missed last episode or you want to catch up on the series, there's a link down pinned in the comments below to the series. And of course, on the channel page, you can find this as well as other farming series. Anyway, we are going to be building a cannery. A little... I would say, like, it's not like a whole plant. It's just going to be a small building here. It's just going to be a small canning production for preserving vegetables in cans and jars. I think it's going to really increase our income. And of course, it's kind of vital to the whole business plan of Guy Friday's Country Goods. We want to have our own sundries and, dry goods general store. So I think selling canned vegetables is great, especially since we farm vegetables. Right. So we're going to be building, like we said last episode, a small cannery here on the farm, and I think placing it somewhere around abouts over here. We'll check that out. We're going to do some things around the farm too. So yeah, let's get started with some of the stuff we want to do on the farm. First, we need to feed our chickens. Yeah, need to feed the chickens. Where's our oh drat, where do we leave the skid steer? Yeah, the skid steer is down at the other farm. I'm going to catch a ride down there, and we're going to load it up and bring it back. It got left down there. It was down there for the vegetable harvest. Yeah, we had this down here loading pallets when we were, man, it is soaking wet down here. We were, when I started, oh yeah, also we need to work on these fields out here. These fields need to get plowed. But yeah, when we started the carrot harvest, we were loading them in pallets, and we're using this to load the pallets, but now we're not, of course. So we're going to bring this back up to our farm. We're going to feed chickens. We're going to water the greenhouse. We might be moving through the month of September in this episode, as I think we'll have some vegetables ready from our greenhouse to sell. Or actually, now that we're going to be building a canning, I don't know what you call it. It's not a factory. It's just a small little canning building. We'll see what it's called. Now that we're going to have the ability to produce cans and jars of vegetables preserved, we're going to want to look at saving our vegetables, of course, for that. So we're going to get this up to the farm. Now, there's a few things down here. Actually, you know what? Before this goes anywhere, let's hook this tractor up and let's lower that back down. There's something that we wanted to do down here with the skid steer. Well, we've got some pallets of either lime or fertilizer. Is it lime over here? And we need to move these indoors. Had to reload the fertilizer spreader a couple of times in haste, which left this is lime. I think the other three over there are fertilizer. It left them sitting out here. So where should we put these? I think there's plenty of room. We can put these pallets, here, I'll just put them in here. Let's tuck them in this little alcove right here. All right, and there is a fertilizer. We got to grab 2 more pallets of fertilizer, and then we can load this machine back up and get to our farm. All right, here's the last pallet. We're just going to put this here, and we don't need the lime actually at all, so I don't mind boxing it in. There's actually a point where we can buy lime just right down the street from here. But we've got some lime on a pallet because we had to unload it out of the spreader. For now, though, we're going to get this loaded back up. And we might work, well, it depends how this weather clears up. We might move later into, like I said earlier, we might move later into September. Maybe it won't be raining because I'd like to get out to the fields and plow them. I guess the fields are obviously they need work before they can be planted again, and that's one thing that they would need. Let's get our bobcat strapped down there. All right, back to the farm. All right, back here at the farm, we can get this fired up, and we need to swap over to we're just going to swap this to a bucket. Luckily, we've got some grain in our silo that we kept just for the purpose of feeding our chickens. Let's just drop these forks off here. There is a rock removal job I want to do sometime this month, so I don't want to block in our hammer there. We might need it. That's a couple $1,000s that we could make just banging rocks, or hammering out rocks with our skid steer here. Alright, so anyway, we should have a couple thousand liters of wheat, I believe, in our silo here. 441 liters, is that it? Okay, well, regardless. Okay, well, now we know that. That is enough. That's enough. But that is the rest of our grain, so we're going to want to buy some grain. Again, that'll feed our chicken for this month, but we're going to want to buy some grain for later at some point. Yeah. There you go, chickies. Alright, and I like to get some water to our vegetables. It's got water, but I like to keep up on that. I'd rather keep ahead of the water than run out. So we're going to grab this trailer out, and while we've got the trailer out, let's build our little canning thing and find out what the heck it's actually called. I guess it's a cannery, a small cannery. Is that? We'll find out here. But we're going to build it, I think, over here. Let's move this trailer out of the way. I don't want to get it boxed in, because I think back here, either behind or beside the greenhouse, would be a good spot for it. Let's get this parked over here. We're going to haul this to the water tower in just a moment. Alright, let's hop out here and let's have a look at this. It is called Preserved Food Factory. It's kind of small to be a factory, if you ask me, but, well, I guess we're back to calling it a cannery. I like this. It has a better ring to it. So, this is going to cost, what, $36,000? Not bad. And this will produce all the products there. We got canned and preserved vegetables, which I've already checked. As far as the carrots go, right now carrots sell for $400-ish per right now, $400-ish per 1,000 liters. But preserved carrots right now are going for over $1,700 per 1,000 liters. Of course, I don't know what the recipe is to make them. We're going to find that out, but I bet it will end up being more efficient is the thing. So, do we want to put this like here? I mean, straight. But let's see. We could put it, say, here behind this, or I thought about putting it, you see, here. But I always think about like the entrance up the driveway, and that just looks messy. It looks messy, So maybe that said, we need to make sure we know where the triggers are. Notice the triggers right there in yellow, black and yellow. Always scope that up before you place something. You wouldn't want to accidentally block those. So if we face it this way, for instance, we need room to access those two triggers. I think we can place it here behind our silo. Let me see here. We're going to want to, there we go. Now, let's cross our fingers and hope this works. It says it's overlapping something. I toggled that off to allow us to place it anyway, so let's hope we don't regret that. Let's see. Yeah, see, I was thinking somewhere over here, but it's a simple thing of, you want to have anyone who's ever sold a car, right? Like, say you're selling a pickup truck, you don't park it so that the person drives up and sees the back end of it first. If you're running a store, you don't put all your messy, ugly products up front, right? You know what I mean? We don't want a big open industrial building at the front of our driveway. It doesn't look good, you know what I mean? So we're parking it back here, and I think this is pretty decent. And now we're assuming that, again, it did give me a warning saying it was overlapping something. I don't see anything. I think it's one of those ridiculous clearances in the game. So I overrode that. I think we'll be fine. So let's check this out. Yeah, let's check out our production point here and see what, so what does it take to make, 1,000 liters, for instance, of carrots into 1,000 liters of preserved carrots. Let's just see. So preserved food factory. Okay, so if we want to make, so here's what we got. 100 carrots equals 45 times preserved food carrots. So if that's, So that means, if I'm reading that correctly, right? If I'm reading that correctly, which there's not much other way to read it, that basically means that that basically 2,000 liters of carrots becomes 1,000 liters, roughly, right? Preserved carrots, which is considering it sells for more than 4 times the price, taking twice the materials. This is definitely a net gain in production efficiency, and well, it just suits the overall idea of running a country general store. So we will likely expand on this. This may not even be enough production to keep up with the 2 fields that we have. I don't know, as it's just a small little production building there. I think it's pretty likely that won't be able to even handle the volume that we're going to be putting at it, but it's a good start. It's a jumping off point. Going to run up here and get some water for the greenhouse. I think that later this month we're going to have some vegetables from there, and we can start actually using our production point, and I'm excited to do that. I think we should definitely do that today. Yeah, we'll be moving forward through the month. I mean, I'm not sure how much we could do. It's pouring rain today. I don't know when it's supposed to stop. Probably here in an hour or two. But what do you guys think about the canning plant, little canning building? I think it's cool. I like it. And I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to use it. It's a thing. Like, I kind of want to get back to the field, back to the farm and get this. I kind of want to move further and, advance in September, see if we can have a couple pallets of vegetables, which we should. And I want to see how the production goes. Here we are at the end of September, and it's a pretty uneventful month. Really not a whole lot to do. Well, there's things that we could do. We still have some of the month left. And, of course, now we have some vegetable pallets. Yeah, speaking of things, there's nothing we need to do in our farm. We have field work to do before we plant, but that's not for another several months. Is there any work that can be done around here that would be good for profit? I look for not vegetable harvesting until next year. Next year we'll have our own vegetable harvester, and we could take on a lot of these jobs and make a lot of money. But I'm not interested in using their harvesters for any of that. But I just want to see if there's any contracts here now that we're in the later stages of the month. Any contracts that might be really particularly profitable, but we're actually doing really pretty good on money, so it's not a huge deal. I'm looking forward to getting started on this. So let's check out our canning production point here, Preserved Food Factory. Now, what do we have? Tomatoes and garlic is what we have at our greenhouse. I didn't even see if we can even do anything with those. I probably should have looked first, to be honest. Yeah, I should have looked, because we can't do anything with our tomatoes and our garlic and our chili peppers. So if you were thinking that earlier, if you're thinking, oh, you can't do anything with those vegetables, that's right, we can't. The greenhouse stuff, we can't, at least this production point won't use. I should have looked at that. I did consider that might happen. That's fine. There are other things here. So we've got, actually, we can use garlic. Where would we get napa? Oh, probably from the greenhouse. So we could make kimchi with, actually, the things we have. If we shift around what we're growing, or better yet, how about we're talking about building another greenhouse anyway. I wanted to build either another one and or a bigger one. All right, so now that we have a production point, okay, this is good. So we've got garlic, got chili peppers, so we could build another greenhouse. We can grow spring onions and Napa cabbage. However, we can make noodle soup. We could have our own brand of ramen. So flour and eggs. We have eggs. So here's what we're going to do. All right, we got to start here. What we're going to do is we've got eggs, we've got chickens. We want to increase our chickens as well. So we're going to want to increase our chickens, and we're going to want to increase our greenhouse holdings. Not a problem. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, see, the canning factory would have looked really bad right here. But you know what would look really beautiful right here is a big, beautiful greenhouse, I think. All right, so let's get some stuff loaded into our production point. Except the tomatoes. Tomatoes are going to get sold or just kept. Or just kept for now. Because we might have a use for them in the future. Yeah, we should, instead of just selling all our vegetables. We were selling the vegetables, but that's because we didn't have, yeah, but now our business is really kind of coming into something, you know. So, we're going to get our, we're going to store our tomatoes in here for now. That's why we have this building. This building is great for, yeah, all of the logistics related stuff. All the, yeah, so we're going to store that in there. The chili peppers will be soon. I don't know if you saw when I checked or not, but we almost have a pallet of, or actually, wait, what is this? Oh, these are the chili peppers. Excellent. Okay, it's the tomatoes we're waiting on. Excellent. These two things right here can go right into the production point. Of course, we're short the cabbage and the something. We'll have a look at that. We're going to build us another greenhouse. So September is going to be a cool, productive month for the farm. It seems. All right, we could carry both of these over there, but let's just do one at a time. So, let's get us some chili peppers. And now again, hopefully these triggers are not blocked. I don't think so. I think it'll work just fine. There we go. Oh, it's got a capacity. Okay. That is one downside with working with, yeah, this small building is going to have less, I would assume less production. And it's going to have, of course, not as much capacity either. Let's get better on this pallet. There we go. All right, see, it only held 480. Let's make sure. Yeah, it only holds 480 chili peppers. Okay, no worries. This little barn, this barn was originally here when we built the farmhouse. If you were here when we originally built the farm, this barn was already here. And it's not good for much, but I didn't want to get rid of it because it's a cute little barn. It's pretty. I didn't want to get rid of it. What I mean is, it's too small for a tractor to get into, but it's just right for something like this. And it's a little cramped in the camera positions, yeah, but it's great for storing bales and pallets. It looks good where it's at. I didn't want to move it. All right, so let's get our garlic over there, and we got eggs too. Actually, let's just grab those real quick. It's taken some time. Yeah, we need to get some more chickens. Just the 10 or so chickens we have produced 500 eggs, although it's taken them a while. There's only a few of them. We'll get us some more chickens, but for now, we got some eggs. Now, if we get some flour, we will. We could make noodle soup. All right, and let's get some garlic in here. And that leaves us to source some flour and a couple other vegetables. We'll have a look at that. Okay, so it's going to take most of the garlic, or actually not quite half of it. Same as the chili peppers. We'll put this in here. And let's have a look. I think, are we done with this? I think we're done with this guy for the moment here. I think we're done with him. Man, that thing is loud. All right. Let's have a look at greenhouses here. And should we... Yeah, we should probably move that water trailer. Yeah, we want to move that water trailer because we might want to put the... probably put the greenhouse on the other side of the windmill there. All right, I've gone through our options. I think this is our best bet. I think it's to build another one of these greenhouses right here. That way they match. It grows the products we need. Yeah, we know it works. I think the best place to put it is like here. This way we can access its output, access entry into it. It's not in the way. It looks okay. I think back here will be fine. We want to put it, make sure it's at a correct, it is. Yeah, it's at the right angle to that one. I want to make sure it is. And make sure it has room for the output. It does. It says it's overlapping, but we're just going to ignore that. There we go. All right, let's check this out. So we got 2 greenhouses now. That'll allow us more output. All right, so we're going to get some water into this one. Here, we want to tell this one to grow. Well, we know what we want, right? So, all right, so here's our new greenhouse, and we're going to have it produce cabbage and onions. Of course, it needs water. We're going to go get it water right now. I think that's all we need it to produce, right? We'll just have it produce cabbage and onions. And The other one, so I guess I just had it producing the ingredients it's producing just generically. You know, obviously that's before we had the canned food production. We don't need it to produce tomatoes. However, we need it to finish this one pallet that it's on, and it'll probably likely turn the tomatoes off. So I'm going to grab our tractor here. We're going to fill this thing up with water. Now, hopefully, I mean, this should be going into into the correct one. Excellent. All that water unloads into there. Okay, so that's going to produce, yeah, half and half the cabbage and onions. We're going to take the tomatoes off of this one once it's done, once it's produced the next pallet of tomatoes. We're going to turn that off. So this will be, yeah, this will be producing the chili peppers and the garlic, and that'll be producing the onions and cabbage. That'll get us kimchi. Awesome. Now, we're going to want to get some more water eventually. For now, I don't want to bore you guys with too much yard work, which is, yeah, I know it's kind of what we're doing here is yard work, but no, it's cool. It's a very, I don't know, what's the cool things here. So we do need to plow these fields, and the weather has cleared up. No more rain. Yeah, let's get down there, and let's get plowing our field. And while we're doing that, we can have some thought. Yeah, it's a great place to think about what else we can do with this whole arrangement here. Instead of just wandering and running circles around the yard, we can get some work done. Yeah, so both of our fields need to be plowed, but of course, yeah, they're both root vegetables, root crops you want to plow every year, so I don't see why not just plow them right out instead of, yeah, you know, they've got to be plowed anyway, so we're just going to plow them outright, and they'll need to be fertilized, such like that. Actually, you know what? I was going to take the plow down there. Let's actually run the disc harrow in those fields. There's no particular reason we would have to. There's a couple of reasons I want to, though. So we're going to turn this around if we can. I think it would be more appropriate, and if not, let me know in the comments down below. I think it would be more appropriate if we ran the disc over them here now, and then plow them next year before we plant. It just seems to me that that would be technically the better way to do it. Although, of course, mechanically in the game, it wouldn't matter. It's got to be plowed. It's got to be plowed. Kind of my main thinking is that, here's my main thinking. If I plow this now, by the time we go to plant, there may be weeds growing in the field. This is just my thinking, all right? Just complete honest, this is my thinking. But if we run the disc now, A, I think it's probably what you would do, and B, then we plow before we plant next year, and that'll obviously, if there are weeds growing then, that'll take care of them. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So, we got our disc harrow here. We're going to take this down there. I just think this is the thing to do. Yeah, like I said, if not, if you are a vegetable farmer and I'm doing it wrong, let me know in the comments below. I always like to try to do things, you know, the right way and everything. So, let's get down to the vegetable fields. All right, so I guess we're going to start with the old carrot field here. So we're going to run the disc on these, and then come springtime, they'll need fertilizer and the plow, of course. But I want to make sure that, well, I want to treat the soil right and do what we need to do to get good, healthy vegetables out of our field. And as long as we're out here at this, now if we don't get 100% perfect coverage, A, I don't worry about that. But B, it's not a big deal because we're going to be plowing it, of course, you know, anyway. While we're out here, this is a great opportunity to, you know, think about anything else we may want to do with the canning side of things, which I like the setup so far. I think we're going to have to, we'll see how this level of production here, you know what, we can just lift this up and go to the next field and drop it down. We'll have to see how that little canning building, yeah, I want to see how the production works on it. And unfortunately, I was hoping we could get it started this month, but we can't. We'll see what kind of output it has, and I guess we'll find out next year when we, because these fields here, are going to have some serious output, you know. So we'll see how it handles this. We may want another one of those buildings, or there is, of course, a bigger canning plant. It's very expensive. We'll just see. Until we can afford a larger canning factory, we may be selling parts of it, producing parts of it. I don't know. You know, we're going to have to see. I think for now we're set. Now, where do you think we could get flour? Because I want to make noodles. I'm a big fan of quick noodles myself. As a yeah. Well, I was gonna say as a young gamer, but I'm not that young anymore. But yeah, I've definitely been a fan of instant quick noodles, and I think it'd be cool to have our own brand of it. So where could we get flour? Well, flour is going to be made from stuff we don't grow unless we had a field. Well, yeah, pretty much. Well, I was going to say if we did a contract, there might be some left over we could use in a batch of noodles, but it's not practical whatsoever. Yeah, we'll have to get us a field. Oh, well, there is that right there, literally. Yeah, you know, we started this farm here not owning the basic starting land. So we've been buying it up piece by piece, you know. We started here with nothing, and it's a little harder to start off, but that's what we've been doing. We could buy that field there. That field's, in fact, I bet we could afford it right now with the money in our pocket. But we're saving up for the big harvester. We'll see what happens. Because next year we're going to have the big harvester, and that's all there is to it. There's no way we're scrimping by like we did this year with that, having to rent those little harvesters because they're expensive. Well, I'll tell you, this is certainly going a lot faster than the harvest. Boy, you should have been here for the beet harvest. It's a very grueling process. Yeah, again, next year we're going to have us a big harvester for it. It's going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to be so far like the biggest, the biggest grand event of the farm will be when we buy that big harvester. We're going to have to take out a good size loan to do it, but we'll be making, we'll have enough money. We're just going to need to make a little bit of money, and we'll be getting that next year, of course, for the big harvest after, well, it's down the road because we got to plant this field again, but yeah, you know. But I think everything is set for, I guess, we've got, so we want to keep our eyes open for a source of, we want to keep our eyes open for a source of flour, and when we get back to the farm, or whenever we have that pallet of tomatoes, we need to we need to stop growing tomatoes in that one greenhouse. We'll sell the ones that come out, because I don't think we're going to have really a use for tomatoes. And so look for a use of flour, and, well, looking forward to our growing our first crop of lettuce and the onions, the cabbage. Well, these fields are looking pretty nice. I think so. Looking good for, we'll check them here. Yeah, let's, so it says it needs plowing. It doesn't, they don't appear to need lime, either one of them, I don't think. And of course, they're not fertilized at all. All right, so, oh, you know what? There actually is, let me think. We did, okay, so if you recall, before we planted these the first time, I forgot about this because there's been so much happened since then. We ran the ridger to put the ridges in before we planted, and I remarked in that video how it's supposed to add a state of fertilization, but it didn't. I believe someone commented on that and said that that's like a known bug in the game or something. So, I'm not crazy. It was supposed to fertilize it, and maybe it's fixed by now. But either way, that should be fertilizing it, and apparently it's a known issue that it's not. So regardless, we will be doing that as well. I forgot about that. We're going to run through here, and after we plow, let's see, we're going to want to, yeah, I guess we'll plow. We'll do that, hoping that it adds a stage of fertilizer, and then we'll plant. And if it happens that it didn't add fertilizer, we'll just have to fertilize it, put on the stages as it's growing. We have a tractor with narrow wheels that can run in between the rows, so no worries there. We'll see how that goes That's not till next year, and who knows what all we have to do this year. But I'm kind of eager to get back to our vegetables. Vegetables are a lot of trouble. I mean, it's certainly not the most efficient, easy way to make money. Absolutely not. But you do things on a farm because, I don't know, lots of reasons, right? You could do things for lots of reasons. I like doing the vegetables. That's what we're doing here. I think they're rewarding, you know, not necessarily monetarily, but rewarding in having a very niche kind of crop in a very, I don't know, I think it's very cool. It requires different equipment and different thinking, you know, than other crops. All the years that I've been farming here in Farming Simulator, you know, mostly done regular cereal grains like wheat and oats and things like canola and such like that. It's fun to do something different that requires a different way of thinking. Like, you know, it requires different equipment. Also, oh yeah, you know what? There's something else that we can build that we're going to need on our farm. Yeah, different storage. It requires different logistics. When you're thinking about how to move them with trailers, you need to think about different all kinds of things, you know. For instance, you can't move vegetables in an auger wagon, right? I mean, you can't exactly suck carrots up in an auger, right? Sometimes, yeah, things like that, you need to think about ahead of time and not use the wrong equipment for something. We need vegetable storage on the farm. We have a silo, but of course you can't store vegetables in a silo. We need a vegetable warehouse, and I haven't even looked at that. Yeah, the fun part is I haven't even looked at that. All right, we are done out here with this. Got these fields tilled for next year. Next year we'll come out here. We're going to plow and then ridge the fields and then plant. And I guess for now, I'll have a look at, now that we have production, we can have a look at the production. But as far as I'm concerned, carrot and beets again, you know, that worked. But now that we have production, maybe something else. Let's get this back to the farm and have a look at what kind of vegetable storage we can get on the farm. Although it may hold off. I may want to see what's available here and then shop elsewhere. What I mean by that is, well, what I mean by that is mods. What I mean is that maybe, you know, I want to see what kind of vegetable storage there is and then maybe find something cooler. Not just cooler, come on. FS25 didn't exactly ship with all of the best options for literally everything. It really, you know, we might find some cool vegetable storage options. Let's at least see what the game has for us back at the farm. Yeah, I just want to get an idea, and it's the thing. It's just like, as I said that, I was like, you know, there's probably whatever vegetable storage we want, we could find. We'll see. Let's just have a look here. So we're probably going to want to look at silos, I'm guessing. And if it's not in silos, then I guess no. Tools, no. Farmhouses, no. Sheds, silos. What? Okay, it's got to be silos, but none of these are for, well, I'll have to look elsewhere, I guess. Okay, so sifting through these menus, unless there's a menu somewhere that I haven't seen, which I've sifted through all the menus, there is no vegetable storage. I can't say I'm terribly surprised. So, no problem. I will find a solution elsewhere. Hey, it's me from editing. I did find us a great vegetable warehouse right here. We'll be building these next episode. And I guess we'll be doing that next time. I'd like to get some vegetable storage here. I was sure that there's some way to store vegetables, but I went through every single building option. There's nothing there. No problem. They exist. If it exists, we'll have it. We'll have it next time. I've had to go source a lot of things elsewhere, such as this tractor right here, this fine tractor I'm standing next to. There's always cool stuff that can be found. So for now, thanks for joining me today here on the farm. We did a lot of, mostly things around here, but on the farmyard, I know, trying to get a feel for this. We're going to have a really good vegetable production next year, and that's what I've been trying to get the feel for here. I think we really got this going good, especially once our tomatoes pop up. We'll turn tomatoes off. So we'll have these two greenhouses here fine-tuned, cranking out the stuff, the ingredients we need for kimchi. And then we're going to have us a vegetable storage warehouse. Again, I didn't see it anywhere in the build menu, but we'll find one. We'll make sure that gets put in here so we can store excess vegetables that won't fit into our little meager production. We might be looking at acquiring more land for a bigger production point. Who knows? I will see you guys next time. Later on this fall with updates, and we'll be working on new things. Guys, thanks so much. Be sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. Subscribe and click the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time.